two polar opposite survival games with two very different ways to survive. Today, we're going to talk about them. Hello everybody, I am Whispabird and I love playing games where you can carve out your own little piece of the world through building, crafting, and of course, surviving. Let's get started with the first of our two upcoming survival games. First up is a procedural open-world survival crafting game by Nordic Trolls called Under a Rock. A procedurally generated world awaits for up to 10 players to survive and craft. Apparently we get to play as an early 19th century explorer, kind of mummy-ish vibes if you remember that movie. Of course you do. And we get to explore this world full of secrets, hostile environments, and also dangerous nights. The game will feature dark caves and underwater environments. As you can see, the character is swimming here. And each playthrough of the game will be different because the world is procedurally generated, which I think is a great feature for survival games to have for replayability. It looks like building will be a huge part of the game because the developers have said that there will be a huge choice of assets to make your dream home, village, and even a city, and that there is no limit as to how expansive your base can be or how many small decorative items you can place together, which is amazing for customizability and again, replayability as you make your way through these procedurally generated maps. And as you make your way through this vibrant world, you're going to come across cute, but also certainly terrifying creatures that you can tame, fight, and breed in order to help you survive. Tamed creatures come with different useful abilities that might be beneficial when exploring the island, or you can just kill them and cook their meat. An example of a few of these creatures would be the Fluffy Puff, which is a large, adorable bunny-like creature, the Snugget, a cute saber-tooth hamster hybrid, and dodos, of course, which are a long-thought extinct creature. And here's a quote from the developers on how they expect these creatures to interact. An important aspect of the development process for us is ensuring we are creating a world that feels alive through the behavior of its inhabitants. And because of this, we spend a lot of time working on the creature AI in situations both inside and outside of combat. Recently, we focused on how these three creatures react to different weather events, for example, lightning storms. Dodos will run around scared or try to find bushes to hide in. Fluffy Puffs will burrow and hide underground, and you can find the mounds of dirt they leave behind and watch them come out when the storm abates. And Snuggets will either gather in groups under a tree canopy or shelter in a nearby cave if they can find one. Sheltering in a cave can often lead them to having to fight whatever is already lurking in the darkness within. So yeah, I would definitely agree that that makes the game feel a little bit more alive. I think taming and creature management is a really fun gameplay loop, so I'm excited to see how Under a Rock puts this into work. And another thing I am really excited to see from this game is that we are going to have a unique character creator. We will be able to be our own unique 19th century explorer, so we can create our own looks with the character creator, which offers a diverse number of customization options. Under a Rock does have a pretty active Twitter account that posts little peeks at how the game is coming along. I'm just scrolling through it here. And they do have some cute little interactive activities that you can do there based on the Twitter and also on the Discord. Now we move from tropical island with cute, vibrant world to its polar opposite, which is winter survival set, you guessed it, in a really cold winter wasteland. Winter Survival is a title that I found while scrolling through Twitter actually. The developer and publisher is Drago Entertainment, and this one has a release date of February 28th, 2024, so it really is right around the corner. The gist behind this one is that we will dive into the ultimate winter survival experience and see if we can survive long enough for rescue to arrive. Experience a unique sanity system that takes survival to the next level. Based on the description, it does seem that there is an end point for this one where we get rescued, assuming we are able to survive. There are also varying levels of sanity, so of course you can go from being very sane by eating food and staying warm to hallucinating, which is an interesting twist and kind of a psychological addition to a survival game. There is a little bit of a story behind this one. There was supposed to be a nice winter hike amongst friends in the Mount Washington State Park, but it turned into a dire situation. You're left alone to fight for your survival with only marginal supplies. You have to fight off the cold, thirst, hunger, wildlife, and your own state of mind while finding your way to an abandoned ranger station and hope to be able to call for help. There will be base building, stealth, and combat mechanics, as well as multiple game modes and difficulties that will allow us to experience the game differently and tailor it to our taste. And apparently there's going to be a lot to explore because the developers say that we are not the first person to visit this area and that there have been many that have come before us and they've left some things there, even people from centuries ago. So there will be exploration as well as various areas to discover, as well as the story behind those areas, like a town built by people who are now long gone. You're going to have to force open doors, avoid traps, and make abandoned structures work again in order to try and survive. Along with hunger and warmth, another bar we're probably going to have to manage is the sanity bar, and it seems like a fairly big part of this game. It starts with fatigue and then will progress into various hallucinations. And on top of all of that, you have to try and avoid becoming a snack for the wolves and bears that are out and about in the world. This is where the stealth gameplay comes in. You might have to avoid danger by sneaking past a potential encounter versus actually fighting that encounter. You can also employ traps to try and keep wolves away from you. There will be 3 different types of modes to choose from as you figure out exactly which path you want to take in winter survival. There's the story mode where you can learn more about yourself and people long gone, like those towns I mentioned before. There will be a cold wave mode where you risk your life in an ultimate survival experience where you brave the elements of an ever-changing weather system and see how far you can go before the wilderness claims you. And lastly, there will be an endless mode where you take advantage of more resources and crafting options as you try to conquer the world around you. You start and proceed how you want, so it's kind of a little bit more like a sandbox in that one. If you are more interested about winter survival, I will be playing the prologue in tomorrow's upload here on the channel, so make sure to tune in for that. Also, when I looked at their Twitter just now, it looks like they have opened up a round of playtesting, so I will leave a link to this Twitter post in the description box if you are interested in getting in on some winter survival playtesting. So there we have it. We have gone from Under a Rock, a very cute and vibrant island type survival building and crafting game, to a very dark and dank winter survival realistic kind of survival game. These are definitely 2 that I am looking forward and will be keeping up with. So if you have any other questions about either of these games, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I will try and figure out what I can about that info. And that is it for me today, guys. The links to my Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it, and my Discord are in the description box down below. I hope you have a great start to your week, and of course, as always, hope you are enjoying whatever game it is that you are playing. So that is it for me, and I will see you all in the next one.